Dear students, now we are going to understand the order of reactivity. And this order of reactivity depends on the experimental work which we have studied in the previous lecture, and now we have studied in the present lecture the thermal decomposition of the metal carbonates. Before going to understand the order of reactivity, we have to understand the reactivity series, and I'm going to revise for this for you. The reactivity of metals is described as how easily an atom loses an electron. For example, the potassium is extremely reactive because it has only one valence electron, so it is very easy to lose it and form a positive ion. While on the other hand, copper is a weak reactive metal because it has more valence electrons, so it is harder for it to become a positive ion. And on the basis of this reactivity series is made. And what is the reactivity? We are going to understand it. The reactivity describes how likely an atom is to form bonds with other elements, and the reactivity of an element is determined by its valence electrons. So this is the reactivity, and the reactivity series depends on the experimental works as I have mentioned you. So I am going to revise the few experimental results with you so that we can easily understand the order of reactivity in the reactivity series. First of all, we are going to discuss the reaction of the metals with the water and the steam. You can see the potassium, sodium, lithium and calcium reacts to form metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas with the water while they explode with the steam. So don't do such experiments in the laboratory of the school because this is very explosive in nature. While the magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, they react slowly to form metal oxides and hydrogen with the water, and they react with the steam giving metal oxides and hydrogen. While the tin and lead no reaction with simple water, while they react very little with the steam. While the copper, silver, gold and platinum, they show no reaction with the water as well as with the steam. So from this you can easily understand that the most reactive are placed at the top of the reactivity series, while the less reactive in the middle and the least reactive at the bottom of the reactivity series on the basis of reaction with water and the steam. Another reaction of metals with oxygen, you can see from this slide, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium and zinc burst into flames and oxide forms very vigorously, while iron glows and oxide forms slowly. Lead and copper oxide forms without glowing or bursting into flames, while silver gold showing no reaction with the oxygen. So from this reaction of the metals with the oxygen, you can also understand the order of reactivity of the metals in the reactivity series. The potassium, sodium, calcium, they are placed on the top, while the silver and gold, they are placed at the bottom of the reactivity series. Dear students, the reaction of metals with the dilute acids, again you can see potassium, salt and sodium, they are violent reaction, they are showing the violent reaction with the acids. While the calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc and iron rate of reaction decreases down the table as we move from calcium to iron, the rate of reaction decreases. While the lead show very slow reaction, while the copper, silver, gold, they are not showing the reaction with the dilute acids. So from these reactions we also conclude the order of reactivity. The potassium, sodium are placed on the top, while the zinc, iron in the middle, while silver and gold, they are placed on the bottom. So from these reactions we understand the order of reactivity of metals in the reactivity series. Another set of reactions of metal oxides with the carbon and the hydrogen. Dear students, we can also see here the potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum oxides are not reduced by the carbon, while the zinc, iron, tin, lead, and copper oxides reduced by heating with the carbon. And again, the silver and gold oxides decompose to metal by heating only. So, from these reduction reactions, we can understand that the potassium, sodium are not going to reduce by the carbon because they are very stable because of their reactivity. On the other hand, when we see the reduction reaction with the hydrogen, so we can see the potassium, sodium, calcium, aluminum, and zinc oxides are not reduced by hydrogen, while the rest, like iron, tin, lead, copper, silver, and gold oxides, are reduced by heating with the hydrogen. So you can see from these reactions as well the order of reactivity of the metals in the reactivity series. So this is the reactivity series on the basis of the experimental results. As we have discussed, the potassium, sodium, they are most reactive in the reactivity series, while the zinc, iron, tin, these are less reactive metals in the reactivity series. Silver and gold and platinum, these are the least reactive metals in the reactivity series. So dear students, after having this understanding of the order of reactivity of the metals in the reactivity series, I have selected some words for the spelling test, and these words are as follows: potassium, carbonates, decompose, stability, reduction, displacement, halogens, apparatus, investigation, and magnesium. Dear students, you have to memorize the spelling of these words and then write in your notebooks and send to your respective groups. Dear students, I have selected two questions from the past papers. The question number one is: describe how the decomposition temperature of metal carbonates depends on the position of the element of the metals in the reactivity series. Second question: write an equation for the thermal decomposition of magnesium carbonate. You have to write these two questions in your test notebooks and then send to your respective groups for checking or evaluation. And this is the homework for today's session. And your homework is from your book, chapter number 12, page number 280. Dear students, you have to discuss in detail the thermal decomposition of metal carbonates, as I have discussed with you earlier. With the help of that discussion and with the help of your book, you can answer this question, and you have to write the answer of this question in your notebooks and send to your respective groups. Dear students, thank you very much for being with me, and one more request to you: please stay at home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.